Welcome back to my inner sanctum. I'm your hostess, Countess Elizabeth, mistress of the macabre, and today we will explore one such event that was one of the worst bombings in aircraft history. Today's tale will be about the Lockerbie air disaster, where a bomb was placed on board a passenger jet as it exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. So let us witness the horror of this event as we explore our grotesque curiosity. On December 21st, 1988, it was a cold and ultimately chilly evening with just 4 days before Christmas. Pan Am Flight 103, also known as Clipper Maiden of the Seas, took off from London's Heathrow Airport, bound for New York City. Among the 259 passengers and crew were 190 Americans. They never made it home. Less than 40 minutes into their flight, the plane exploded over the sky above Lockerbie, Scotland, killing everyone on board and 11 Scotsmen on the ground. Until 9/11, it was the world's most lethal attack of air terrorism and one of the largest and most complex acts of international terrorism ever investigated by the FBI. Solving this case required unprecedented international cooperation and hours upon hours of painstaking work. With the mid-air explosion 3,000 feet up, debris rained down over 845 square miles across Scotland. FBI agents and international investigators combed the countryside on hands and knees, looking for clues in virtually every blade of grass, eventually turning up thousands of pieces of evidence, interviewing more than 10,000 individuals in dozens of countries. Participating in this investigation were an array of international police organizations from such countries as Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and of course, Great Britain, including Scotland. Ultimately, forensic specialists from the FBI, the CIA, and elsewhere determined that one of the fragments found on the ground, no bigger than a thumbnail, came out of a circuit board of a radio cassette player. The tiny piece of evidence helped establish that the bomb had been placed inside the radio and tape deck in a piece of luggage. Another small fragment, found ebbed in a piece of shirt, helped identify the type of timer. Following a 3-year joint investigation by Dumfries and Galloway Constabulary and the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, arrest warrants were issued for 2 Libyan nationals on November 1991. In 1999, Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi handed over the 2 men for trial at Camp Zeist in the Netherlands after protracted negotiations and UN sanctions. In 2001, Adalbest al-Maghari, a Libyan intelligence officer, was jailed for life after being found guilty of 270 counts of murder in connection with the bombing. In August 2009, he was released by the Scottish government on compassionate grounds after being diagnosed with prostate cancer. He died in March 2012 as the only person to be convicted for the attack. In 2003, Gaddafi accepted responsibility for the Lockerbie bombing and paid compensation to families of the victims, although he maintained he had never given an order for the attack. Acceptance of responsibility was part of a series of requirements laid out by UN resolution in order for sanctions against Libya to be lifted. Libya said it had to accept responsibility for Maghari's status as a governmental employee. During the first Libyan civil war in 2011, former Minister of Justice Mustafa Abdul-Jabil claimed that the Libyan leader had personally ordered the bombing, though this was later denied. While investigators have strongly believed that Maghari did not act alone, and had reported as questioning retired Stasi agents about the possible role in the attack. Some relatives of the dead, including Lockerbie campaigner Jim Sauer, believed that the bomb was planted at Heathrow Airport. The cell belonging to Popular Front of the Liberation of Palestine General Command had been in operation in West Germany for months before the Pan Am bombing. On the 32nd anniversary of the bombing on December 21st, 2020, Mohammed Abdul-Jalil Massoud was charged in the U.S. for having built the bomb that destroyed the aircraft and acting as a co-conspirator. Well, that was truly a grotesque tale, one of explosive proportions. And even 32 years later, they are still charged a co-conspirator for having built the bombs. May all the souls on board and the ones that died on the ground rest in peace. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe, like, and share if you would also like to keep exploring our grotesque curiosity. We will meet again in the darkness of the night.